As the country manager for the Economic Development Board of Bahrain, it's my job to increase foreign direct investment into the country of Bahrain. I deal with U.S. companies who are looking at a MENA strategy, which is the Middle East and North Africa, as an export or foreign direct investment market. So companies that are looking to establish a facility, a manufacturing facility, a subsidiary to service the Gulf market or the MENA region, Middle East and North Africa. Well, you certainly need to be able to have enough people skills to develop relationships with CEOs, COOs of companies. You need to be able to speak articulately with managing directors of companies to clearly tell the value proposition of why the business model would be good to establish a subsidiary in a place like Bahrain. You need to be able to have good presentation skills. You need to be able to speak in front of audiences. You need to be able to have Microsoft skills, Microsoft Outlook skills, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You need to be able to create documents that, of course, represent the outward-facing documents of a country. The language issue is most of what my sector, what my career people are doing. I mean, most of the business language is done in English. So specifically for my current position, Arabic is, of course, the language that people speak in Bahrain. I don't speak Arabic, but the business culture is all English. So everyone I'm dealing with in Bahrain, they all speak English, have been educated in either the UK or the United States. So the language factor, English is the business culture, but the language of the country is Arabic. The cultural issues are actually quite important. Understanding a foreign culture and being able to navigate through those cultural waters is very, very important. You have to be able to understand nuances in the way that you speak or the way that you deal with someone or the right types of things to say, the right things not to say, how to act, not to act. It's very, very important, and it is very important, of course, in the Middle East. People are much more sensitive from a cultural aspect than you would be dealing with Europe or somewhere like Scandinavia or maybe Asia. Each person has their own individual story, but my story is I love foreign languages. So in school I studied foreign languages. I speak Spanish, I speak French, I speak German, and I speak a little bit of Danish now. But my very first job was actually with an Austrian textile company. I started right before I graduated from college as like a project manager. So I was working in the private sector for a foreign company who was manufacturing in the United States. And then after that, I actually went to work for a French company where I used my French skills, who was also manufacturing in the United States. So I was working in the private sector for a vast majority of my professional career before I made a swap or a switch over to the public sector or public diplomacy, if you will. And I actually was very fortunate. I just actually sent my resume, because I had worked for a French company, to the French embassy in Washington and asked if they needed anyone who spoke French. I didn't really apply for a specific job even at that point. And someone contacted me about a commercial attaché position, which is a trade and export promotion position. And I was interviewed for the job, and because I had manufacturing experience, international manufacturing experience previously, I was hired for the position, and that's how I got into my career path. This career field is a very tight-knit field. I mean, it's all about networking. It's all about who you know. It's all about the network that you have to do certain projects and certain events. So I would say that networking is a real important key skill that you need to have to be able to enter this field. It is a very tight field. It's a very difficult field to get into. But I would say that you certainly need to be keyed into kind of the trade groups that are located out of DC. You got to be active in certain chambers of commerce. There's ways to get plugged in to the local economic development councils, and that's how I would recommend people to do it.